So today we're talking about Bitcoin. So we don't actually have any information on who the creator of Bitcoin actually is. We don't know if it's a single person, if it's a group of people, a boy, a girl. We have no information. The only thing we know is that Bitcoin was created by a person or a group of people who went by the name of Satoshi Nakamoto. So Bitcoin is a decentralized virtual blockchain which permits the transfer of Bitcoin between peers without the need of a trusted or a third party. Bitcoin Network also keeps track of all transactions so that it's easier to find out who owns what. Intermediaries such as banks and central banks, they make up today's centralized financial infrastructure. Together they maintain ledgers that are interconnected of who owes and owns what. They reflect transactions that were made between parties. This is also costly to maintain, but it helps them keep track of everything. However, virtual blockchains such as Bitcoin work as a decentralized distributed ledger, where people who participate in the network control factors such as validation and recording transactions. In Bitcoin, all the data transactions are stored on the blockchain network. A blockchain is also a ledger with all the historical data of the transactions that have occurred since day one. This helps to create a story which shows why the current balances are what they are. Along with that, to make sure that the information of the transactions can't be altered after it is recorded onto the blockchain, cryptographic verification is used, which basically means that once the transaction is recorded onto the blockchain, it can't be changed, it can't be altered. Bitcoin blockchain software is maintained by thousands of independent nodes, and these nodes are distributed globally. This makes it very difficult to shut it down, since even if one node contains false information, all of its data will be disregarded by the right data of all the other nodes. For example, if one node has data that says the transaction of 1 Bitcoin has occurred, but all the other nodes say that their transaction was actually of 2 Bitcoins, then the data in the first node will be erased. Along with that, each node has its own copy of the Bitcoin blockchain. For example, let's say person A wants to send person B 5 Bitcoin. Well, person A would have to send a transaction request using person B's public address. After that, the person A has to sign the request with their private key. Person A's request will get passed on to each node, and cryptography will verify if that person actually has 5 Bitcoins to give to person B. And if they do, then cryptography also makes sure that person A's request will get passed on to person B, and that the transaction will actually occur. So there are 3 ways to obtain Bitcoin. 1, by mining them. 2, by purchasing them. And 3, receiving them as a form of payment. For example, if you have just completed a shipment and you get paid in Bitcoins. A Bitcoin miner is a person who processes the transaction of the Bitcoins in exchange for a payment done in Bitcoins. To mine a singular block, it takes around 10 minutes, and whoever mines the block first will be the one who receives the Bitcoin payment. It's like a race. There's a fixed amount of Bitcoins that a person can receive per block that is mined. In 2009, it was 50 Bitcoins, and currently it is 6.25 Bitcoins. It has reduced because the payment halves every 4 years, which is called the halving circle. Now, let's talk about if Bitcoin will be used in the near future as a medium of exchange. Currently, Bitcoin is used to make larger transactions, and not to just buy a slice of pizza. This is due to many reasons. First of all, a network like Visa can accept 1,700 transactions per second, whereas Bitcoin can only accept 7 transactions per second. Along with that, when you pay with cash or credit or even debit card, your money is refundable, so you can get that money back. If there's a mistake, if you accidentally paid too much, you can get your money back, you can get your change. With Bitcoin, all transactions are permanent and cannot be reversed. For example, if you were supposed to pay someone 2 Bitcoins and you accidentally paid them 3, then you can't reverse the transaction. You can't be refunded 1 Bitcoin, even if it's proven that it is a Even if it's proven that it's a fraud or it's been a mistake, it can't be reversed once it's put into the blockchain network. So that is Bitcoin. Bye.